All right, so I'm here finally with an overview of the scan tool that I have been wanting for a while now. And this right here is just, this ain't really, I wouldn't consider this an unboxing because I've already unboxed it and, been testing it out. But what I want to show you is just quickly what's in the box before we jump into the car and, put it to the test, and also to just tell you a few things about the unit. So in the box, it comes with plenty of adapters. These here are like ODB, I think pre-ODB2 adapters here. You got some more type of adapter cords type, like right here, for example. Here, this is pretty cool. They have an extension cable right here. The head is small, so if the dongle here won't fit into this cleanly into the spot, you can use this extension cable here, and it has a much smaller head compared to that, for example. You get these types of cables here because I think some of these older ODB2 or older OBT connectors maybe require some power. You might even can power the unit with this as well, I'm thinking. All right, so here you get the standard BMW, older BMW, I think, and Mercedes connector here. And also in here is the power brick as well. And obviously you're going to get the unit here and the dongle here. And this dongle is in here really tight, by the way. I had to actually take a panel pry tool to get this thing out because I could not get my hand in there to get a grip. It's not really a complaint, just to say maybe they made that fit so tight to keep this from being jostled around so much, because maybe the internals through shipping and things might could easily get messed up. But that's essentially what's in the box. And again, I just tell you one quick thing about the scan tool. I bought it off eBay for $800. They sold it as new, but I think that these are return units, and because it does not have any film on the screen here, but I'm fine with that. So if you're interested in one, you just check eBay out, because again, this coming from a seller, an authorized Topdon seller in New Jersey, and Topdon, I believe Topdon.us is based in New Jersey, so it might even just be them just under another name selling their used units. But you still get the same 2 years free updates, the same 5-year warranty. All of the connectors, everything is in a box. Look like it's never been touched. It's never been opened, and there's not a single scratch or anything on this unit. Again, I think it's used. That's just my belief. But what I will say is that if you think about it, if you bought this unit retails for around $1,100 to $1,200. So if you bought it used for $800, I would, especially if somebody used it for like a week or a couple of weeks, and yeah, absolutely, I'd buy it for $800 easy. I mean, that's probably the best deal you're ever going to find on a scan tool of this quality here. And again, I don't know 100% if they're used or not, but again, it did not have plastic film on the screen. But again, that's fine with me, and you can also return it if you get it and don't like it. So again, check eBay right now. A slew of these things, $800. You'll be totally happy that you got it for $800. I am telling you, I love this thing. And so with that said, let's go ahead and jump in the car, and we're going to go ahead and put this to the test. All right, guys, so we're here inside the car now, and first thing I want to do is just walk through everything what's going on here on the screen, because they did some updating. I think if you saw some older videos, some of these modules, these little squares here and this little initial screen might be different or were not here. So the first thing I want to show you is, we'll come back to scan in a second. Let's just go past the scan, because of course we're going to go check the scans out and do things like that. So let's proceed to services. In services, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 35 different types of services here. Notably, it does EEPROM programming here. It does power balance. It does. You can turn off auto stop and start if you have that equipped to be able to be disabled. What else? The ABS bleeding. I mean, that's pretty typical. So you have pretty much everything. Add blue. I haven't seen that quite on many scan tools that I have just yet. But if you need to add blue to your diesel vehicle, you have that. And I mean, just other stuff you'd expect to see on this type of scan tool. So again, 35 special functions. All right, so now let's back out of here. Now, if you want ADAS, if you want to invest in any equipment and things like that, you can also do ADAS on this as well. Now, the module, now this is where it gets interesting. All right, so you can do your battery tester, or you can hook an oscilloscope to this. Okay, so that's all fine and well, right? So we back out, but because we're going to update next anyway, so let's go to update. And I'm going to show you something special about this here. First of all, if you go to upgradable software, this is where what can be updated will show up. So right now, nothing it needs to be updated. Over here, the upgraded software, of course, it shows you everything that is updated. And as you can see here, all of the expiration dates are here 2 years from when I updated, as I, talked about earlier. And so, but the thing I want to show you is this, is if you have oscilloscope, you can hook an O1 oscilloscope to this unit, but also you can hook a scope. They just mean, I think it's called a Phoneix scope. You can research that. It comes, I think, by default with the Topdon Max unit, but you can also buy a standalone as well. So I thought that was interesting that you also can hook a third-party scope to this unit, or at least that's what it says right here. I don't know if that's just for testing internally or kind of anybody do it, but anyway, it says right there, O1 oscilloscope. All right, so let's back out of here. Now, support, let's see here. We go to support. This is where, you got your team viewer, typical team viewer stuff where you can do remote access. I've tested it out, works just fine. So that's just what that is, nothing special, but at the same time, it's very useful. Library. This here is where they kind of give you a one-stop shop for all of your things like all data identifics and some of these things I never heard of. Definitely I've heard of Mitchell One. You're supposed to be an auto auth login somewhere on this unit. I have not looked for that yet because again, I have no need to, but at the same time, most scan tools, if you don't have the auto auth account that allow your scan tool to access things directly through the ODB2 port, you can do the 12 plus 8 pin connector bypass. So now one thing I want to show you is this. If you go to all data here, right? Let's just go ahead and load it up real quick. And let's just go into let's just go ahead and pick a car. I just want to make an example here. And I just want to show you something why you might want to use Chrome versus use this. So we go to diagrams. This is just a quick example. Mechanical, drive build. As you can see, maybe you can't tell, I'm pinching the zoom and it's not working anywhere on the screen. However, I can click zoom/print and it'll blow it up. And you can, pinch the zoom at that point, right? But however, if we back up, let's go back. Let's go back again. Keep going back. I just don't want to log out. All right, so we go back one more time. I'll show you what I exit, hit cancel. I guess if I hit, I guess yes. If you go to Chrome, as you can see, I got the same thing already pulled up, but see, you can pinch and zoom anywhere on the screen, so you don't have to just, so for example, if fonts are too small, you can pinch to zoom those, or say if you just want to pinch to zoom, say a diagram, but you also still want to be able to scroll over and see some other type of wording, you don't have to leave that screen. So using the Chrome browser to access your support material such as all data might be a better idea. Just wanted to point that out. All right, so that's what's in here. You get all this stuff here, and also support. You can hook up your TC001, that's the thermal camera. I will be doing that in another video because I'm gonna make a video. I actually have a TC001. I just want to make a video on just some practical uses for it in automotive and just around the house. I mean, it has a lot of practical uses, and if you can, afford to buy one, I mean, they're not terribly expensive, but they're not cheap either. They're definitely well worth the money. I mean, you could use them for lots of things. Okay. History is just what that says. I mean, you can go to diagnostic record, look at everything you've done here. I haven't done much with it because I just got it there the other day. Feedback here, I think what it is, it kind of shows you like whatever type of thing you've used. Like I've clicked all of these, and you can kind of send a direct feedback based on whatever, thing you clicked in here. For example, if I had an issue with the GM software or with the IMMO or the odometer special function, I can send one specifically for that straight to them. And user info is just, all of this stuff here, just stuff that's behind the scenes that may not make much of a difference. And, when you first get your unit, obviously you go ahead and activate it here. One thing I do want to show you while I'm here is that if you go up here, it has 40 gigabytes available. So this thing has a lot of storage on it, which is nice. So that way you don't have to worry about filling up stuff too fast. And if you do, you can probably stick a USB in it somehow, or just connect it to your PC to make backups of, things. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and jump into auto scan. Is just what it is. So we're not going to do an auto scan yet. I'll tell you, auto scan if you click it, it just dives right into scanning the vehicle. Okay, so let's just do it. If you hit auto scan, it's just going to dive right into scanning the vehicle, just like that. It's very nice, and it's fast. All right, so I just want to show you that. All right, so let's just back out. Go back to scan, and here you can pick you can do OBD2, you can pick the car, obviously. So that's just how that works. Again, just show you the difference between those. So anyway, we'll go back to auto scan. All right, this is pretty quick. Oh, one other quick thing, this thing is pretty quick to update. Most software, most scan tools I got, when you update them, you'll see a spike up and down, sometimes even to like 5 kilobits per second of data download. But this thing right here never went below 8,000 kilobits per second. So it updates pretty fast. So before we hit scan, I'm going to just click quick access. Quick access, what it does, it just pulls up the topology tree of all the modules, and you can just go into a module straight from there. For example, if you wanted to go into the ECM, you would just click ECM and hit enter, and you would be able to go basically straight into this thing to look at live data, special functions, actuation tests, maintenance, and this clear codes and module information, for example. All right, so let's go back. What we're going to do, just go ahead and we can do a smart scan from here as well, but we're just going to go back and just start from the beginning here and just go back to this screen and hit scan. Hit scan, and now it's going to scan the topology tree. And I really like, let's hit smart scan. All right, so I really like this thing because it's kind of like you have all of the modules just on the same network. So for example, if you're having some parasitic draw issues or something like that, say if one of the body control modules, you might not know which one it is causing the issue, but you can say, all right, I can focus on the body control modules. At least it's a starting point for some electrical issues and I'm sure it's other things that it can pinpoint as well. I have some codes in the body control module. That's no thing, because I changed all my lights, all my interior lights and my license plate lights to LEDs from the incandescent bulbs. And I guess it's looking for a certain voltage or something like that. But yeah, this thing really, I cleared them out and they haven't came back yet, but I haven't performed a drive cycle either. But the ones that stand in here, I will take a look at those real quick. I'm gonna see if I can resolve that issue, because my goal, it's just a personal goal, just to have no codes in this car, just to see if I'm able to do it, which is probably impossible, but we'll see. We'll try anyway. Let it go ahead and scan. Now, one thing I noticed on this car, it might tell you on some other cars, some cars it'll tell you what CAN line it's on, or it's on the K line. I guess because of maybe the year and the way this software is set up, it doesn't really say CAN line, but I'm assuming like powertrain would be probably on the CAN line. Chassis might be on the CAN line. The body control module might be on like a K line, if this car has one. I can't remember if it does or not. So in this case, if you hit report it'll make a report. Let's go ahead and make a report. You can do pre-scan or post-scan or just diagnostic scan, whatever you want. And if you hit OK, in this case, we're just going to hit OK and hit skip this here. And it'll say generating report, and it'll pop that report up, and then you can share that report or save it or whatever you want. This is what the report generally looks like. All right, so we go back to, let's go to diagnostic plan, and it kind of shows you what, one thing I like about this is that for the subcodes, it kind of gives you a little idea, because most, I think most scan tools do, but I like how it says they short the battery, how it sets it off to the side, because I know, and it might just be that the wording just kind of shifts to the next level, but anyway, that subcode means short the battery, like 01 and 04 mean the circuit is open or something to that effect. But I have to check this out because this code won't go away, so I'll check it out. So I just want to show you just how quick it scans, give you a quick snapshot of this topology. And again, I know most people watching this may know about this, but some people just might not. So now, if you want to go into let's go into the body control module, and we'll hit enter from here. And we'll just do some simple actuation tests here, just to show people for bi-directional controls. First of all, let me just see what kind of special functions we got. We can do all of these relearn sensors, tire pressure, tire type, read line bus ID information. All right, so let's go back to actuation tests. Okay, key is on. We can go windows. And for example, we take the driver window motor, we'll just carry it up and down just really quick, and we'll just say carry it up because it's already down. Pretty nice to be able to see if that motor is working. All right, then we'll just say we can hit more, and you can just see down versus express down. We'll just hit down. All right, so we back out. Let's go to also, one thing I thought was pretty cool, you can check your keyless entry, like the where is it at? I think it's here. Power doors. I don't know where I found it earlier, but it was one where you can test the touch buttons that unlock and lock the doors on your car. I thought it was pretty cool. I think it's in another module though. All right, so let's go to, how about interior lighting? We can go to courtesy lamps, and you should see this light here pop on here. Let's go ahead and turn that on real quick. And then in a second, we'll graph we'll check out some live data. So we say active, and it pops on the courtesy lamp, which is this, and the one behind the camera, which you can't see. Hit inactive. There's that. And I also like that they got the battery voltage up here just constantly. I think most good scan tool has that. So I got my trickle charger up there anyway, so I can take my time doing this. All right, so now let's go into the engine control module. What we're going to do is let's go ahead and start the car real quick. Oop. You see, that's a problem that I have my instrument cluster here. Now let me read the code here again. Hold on, let me go back here, because again, I always have a let me do this right here. System scan. Well, I did system scan. I just want to see what would happen if I did that. Let me hit pause real quick. I thought I was trying something. I thought if I click the module and hit system scan, let's back out for a second, do smart scan. I just want to see what's in my instrument cluster here, because again, okay, there we go. Yeah, because what happened is that I'll show you what just happened while my car didn't start. Let me show you something. Let me do a smart scan real quick while the car is running now. Then I'm gonna go to an old report, and I'm gonna show you what it is. And it's the switch here, right here, that has like it's probably needs to be replaced at some point. This is that issue you just saw is very intermittent. It happens every blue moon, and I'm surprised it happened right then. So the instruments control module, we should see a code this time. Maybe we'll see. Oh, we don't. Okay. Well, I know maybe it must have to happen so many times before it set a code. And I'm gonna show you what it is in a second. Let this finish scanning right quick. Okay, so now the codes came back so far. As far as my body control module codes, which is good. So if I can get those 2 codes out of here, I'd be glad that so anyway, that'll be in another video. I'll figure out how to work that out. All right. So everything is done. Let's see, does the instrument, does this have any sort of, let me see, does it have any stored, pending? Let's read fault code. No, we don't want to clear, sorry, read fault code. Do you have any, no pending, no anything? All right. So before we do any special functions, let me show you something real quick. I'm gonna show you what that potentially was. Let me go back to report real quick. Let's go to history. Go to diagnostic report, and we will go to DTC. Let me see, is this here? Let me see. No, that's not it. DTC, no. Give me a second here. And this is all the other stuff I told you I cleared out that didn't come back yet. So this one here, where is it at? Yeah, you see right here, this code B1370-01, control module ignition on and start circuit short to battery, lost communication with info display instrument cluster. That code comes up every so often, and every so often it'll come up after you saw that issue where my car wouldn't start. And I believe that this switch here is just probably going bad. I mean, the car is 13 years old. I don't know how long it takes for switches like this to go out. Maybe it could be just a fluke, but this code right here is related to that. So anyway, that's going to be something I'm going to be investigating as well. So that's why I'm glad I got this type of scan tool here. All right, so let's go back to scan real quick. And sorry, let's go to auto scan. And we're gonna check it out here. Pretty quick. I like how this is quick. And let's go to quick access now. See, this is we're just going straight to the ECM, and we're going to just take a look at some live data. We're gonna grab some data and just take a look at how much data can we put on the screen at once. So we go to ECM and hit enter. 2-wheel front drive. And we're going to read data stream. Let's just take a look at, I don't know, what would be good? Let's go to engine data and see what we have here. Oh, did I click it? Yeah, there we go. All right, so, well, let's just select all. Hit OK. Let's just hit graph and see what happened. Oh man, it graphed. I guess it graphed the first 12. It looks like accelerator position to distance since last. Let's go back and see if that's correct. Wait a minute. Hit select all. Hit OK. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so if you just go ahead and hit graph, it's going to hit the first 12, okay? But compare, let's see if you hit compare, what'll happen. Compare sample. No, that's compare sample. So let's just go back to, let's just hit unselect, and let's just hit random 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it looks like, and hit OK. Looks like you can have up to 12. If we hit graph, you can have 12 on the screen at the time. And again, this is just for demonstration purposes, just to show you what you can see. And everything looks pretty good. I mean, you can actually, if you click a graph, you zoom in on it, and it says support zoom in and out. Let's see, I don't think it does. I've tried to pinch. Support gesture scaling. Hit this button here. Oh man, a maximum 4 data streams. So if you hit this over here, you can add data streams to this right here. So for example, this doesn't matter. This is just an example. Let's just hit 2 of these, and then just hit OK, and then hit that. So there we go. Over here on the right side of the screen, you have that indication on the y-axis. Over here on the left, you have a y-axis for some indication over here, and then Yeah, and the x-axis is time. So, you know, this is pretty cool, where you got the engine coolant temperature, the deceleration, fuel cutoff. And again, I'm not saying any of these relate. I just picked some randomly just to show you what it would look like. I'm trying to figure out how. Oh, it looked like you can't pinch and zoom. You can only kind of, if you go like this, it looked like you can zoom in a little bit, but not zoom out. But this should be probably more than a support gesture scale. I'm not sure what that means yet. But anyway, this looks like it support pretty good data. Like, for example, you look at the oxygen sensor down here in the bottom right, you can clearly see that that sensor one is fluctuating between rich and lean, as it should. So there you go. So far, what I think about this scan tool is that I'm gonna just back out to the front here. What I think about this scan tool is that it's, you know, it's really awesome. Actually, one last thing I tell you about this, I got this off eBay for $800. I bought it from an authorized Topdon seller in New Jersey, which that's where they're based at, New Jersey. So they probably it might even be Topdon, just under another, just have their own separate little subsidiary to handle this. But I think these are return units because this did not have a plastic film on it. But to me, that's okay. I mean, you still get the same warranty. All the connectors that were in the box, and they were still packaged as if brand new. It looks like to me somebody probably got this thing, used it, and it didn't have a feature, and they returned it. Because, for example, I tried to add a key to this car I'm sitting in, and it says it does not support it, but my other scan tool will support adding a key to this car. And that's not really a big deal necessarily, because most people that work on cars, they're not really going to be into looking to add keys. Although this scan tool will add keys to some cars, it's probably not as comprehensive, say, as the X tool D8, for example. But I wanted this scan tool. The biggest reason I wanted a scan tool with topology, which so far I love it, and I wanted a scan tool that had a good enough browser and memory for me to be able to use my all data on the unit, which I can on this unit here. So that's it. That's my overview of the Topdon Phoneix Plus. If you got any questions or comments, please, I'll put them in the comment. I'll be back with more videos on this. I'll be primarily using this for all my videos and when I work on my cars for the next few videos. Anyway, I'm probably going to do some comparisons at some point. And well, I would love to also get an oscilloscope for this. And I'm thinking about one day maybe trying to get the Topdon oscilloscope, the Phoneix scope, to try out with this. So Topdon is listening. You want me to test it out for your audience? I mean, sometimes people like to see a third-party practical user use something before they buy it versus seeing, you know, you as a professional or first-party company test it out, because maybe you don't have the, people might just want to see how it is used, how they might use it, and how, if they're on the fence about buying it, they see another person who was on the fence and also got it and used it, it might encourage them to check it out. So that's it. That's it for this one right here, Topdon Phoneix Plus on eBay right now. Grab you one if you're interested. I'll see you in the next one.